Jeremy Renner just revealed that Mayor of Kingstown Season 5 is almost done filming. And according to him, no one is safe. Not one character. Not one alliance. Not one secret. Now, actors tease dangerous seasons all the time. That's normal marketing. But when you look at where Season 4 ended, who's joining the cast, and what Taylor Sheridan's team has been setting up behind the scenes, this warning starts to sound a lot more serious. Let's break down what Renner revealed, what it could mean for Mike McLusky, and why the final season of Mayor of Kingstown might be heading toward its most dangerous ending yet. If you're new here, welcome. If you've survived 4 seasons of Kingstown without developing trust issues, congratulations. Because this show has spent years proving that every victory comes with a body count. And now, we're heading into the final chapter. Jeremy Renner recently posted an update from the set, confirming that filming is nearly complete. He thanked fans for supporting the show and added one very interesting message. No one is safe this season. Simple sentence. Big implications. Because if you've watched this series from the beginning, you know that Kingstown has never been a place where good people get rewarded. It's a place where everyone eventually pays a price. At first glance, this sounds like a routine production update. But there are a few reasons fans are paying attention. First, Season 5 is officially the final season. That changes everything. When a show knows it's ending, writers stop protecting characters. Storylines no longer need to stay open for future seasons. The gloves come off. Second, this final season is shorter. Instead of the usual 10 episodes, Season 5 will only have 8 episodes. That usually means a faster pace, fewer detours, and a direct path toward the ending. In television, shorter final seasons often mean one thing. The story is moving toward its conclusion quickly. And in a show like Mayor of Kingstown, that rarely ends peacefully. Let's talk about Mike McLusky. Because Mike has spent the entire series trying to keep Kingstown from falling apart. The problem is that every season leaves him carrying more secrets, more enemies, and more responsibility. He's not a politician. He's not law enforcement. He's not a gang leader. But somehow he's connected to all of them. And that's exactly why he's dangerous. Season after season, Mike has been the unofficial balance, keeping the city from collapsing into chaos. The question heading into Season 5 is simple. What happens when that balance finally breaks? Because based on everything we know, that's exactly where the story seems to be headed. One of the biggest additions this season is David Morse. If you've watched enough crime dramas, you already know that's a serious casting choice. Morse is joining the series as FBI agent Russell Hardy. And unlike many of the criminals Mike deals with, Hardy isn't arriving to build power. He's arriving to expose it. According to information released about the season, Hardy comes to Kingstown looking into the aftermath of Callahan's disappearance and the events surrounding the Season 4 finale. His investigation threatens to uncover Mike's secrets and disrupt the fragile power structure holding the town together. That is a huge problem, because Mike's entire career depends on operating in the gray area. An FBI agent doesn't live in the gray area. He brings everything into the light. And once that happens, nobody stays protected. Here's where things get interesting. I don't think the biggest threat this season is Agent Hardy. The bigger threat is what happens when people learn the truth. Kingstown survives because everyone accepts a certain version of reality. The gangs know their place. Law enforcement knows their place. The prison system knows its place. Mike sits in the middle. But if Hardy starts exposing secrets, every group suddenly has a reason to panic. And when people panic in Kingstown, violence usually follows. That's why Renner's warning matters. No one is safe may not just mean deaths. It can mean every relationship on the show gets tested. Every alliance becomes unstable. Every hidden deal becomes public. And that might be even worse. We also need to talk about Taylor Sheridan. Because if you've watched Sheridan's work, you know he doesn't usually build stories around happy endings. His characters often face consequences. Real consequences. And Mayor of Kingstown has always been one of his darkest shows. Unlike some crime dramas where heroes eventually win, this series is built around impossible choices. Mike doesn't solve problems. He manages disasters. Every decision creates another problem waiting around the corner. That storytelling style is exactly why fans are nervous heading into the final season, because the ending could go in several directions. Mike could survive, Mike could lose everything, or Kingstown could finally consume the very person who spent years trying to save it. At this point, all of those outcomes feel possible. One thing that's interesting right now is how divided the fan community seems to be. Some viewers think Mike won't make it out of the series alive. Others believe he'll finally escape Kingstown and leave everything behind. And then there's a third group that thinks the show will end somewhere in the middle. Not a complete victory, not a complete tragedy, just a final reminder that nobody truly wins in Kingstown. The reality is that the series has spent years building Mike into a character who sacrifices himself for everyone else. That's usually not a great sign when a show reaches its final season, because television history has taught us one thing. The people carrying the biggest burdens often pay the biggest price. There's another reason this season feels significant. Jeremy Renner's personal journey has added a different layer to the show. After his serious snowplow accident in 2023, many people wondered when he would return to major acting projects. Not only did he return, he came back and continued leading one of television's toughest dramas. That resilience has become part of the conversation surrounding Mayor of Kingstown. And because this is the final season, there's a sense that viewers aren't just watching Mike McLusky's final chapter. They're watching the conclusion of a role that has become one of Renner's most important post-Marvel performances. For many fans, this show helped redefine him beyond Hawkeye. And now that journey is approaching its final episode. The big question everyone has right now: when will we actually see Season 5? Unfortunately, Paramount Plus hasn't announced an official release date yet. But with filming reportedly nearing completion, the production is clearly moving into the later stages. That means the next major milestone will likely be post-production, then trailers, then marketing, then finally, the premiere announcement. So while we don't have an exact date, we're getting much closer to seeing how this story ends. For now, here's what we know. Jeremy Renner says filming is nearly finished. Season 5 is the final season. David Morse is bringing a major new threat into Kingstown. The season will be shorter, faster, and likely more intense. And according to the man playing Mike McLusky himself, no one is safe. The real question isn't who survives. The real question is whether Kingstown can survive itself. And based on everything we've seen so far, I wouldn't bet on it. If you're excited for the final season of Mayor of Kingstown, let me know one thing in the comments. Do you think Mike McLusky survives the series finale? Or does Kingstown finally claim its biggest survivor? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.